everybody all over the world. For real this time, with the voice being perfect on the first try. So there's been a patch, or rather patch notes in TF2. You should go to TF2.com and look at it. It's a work in progress, and now everybody and their mother within the TF2 community is making videos about this. So we're just going to go right in and see. I've had a little look already. However, it's not really that relevant because it's not in the game yet. So it's like when you could pick up dropped weapons in TF2. When I read that, I was like, man, this is fucking stupid. It's the dumbest thing ever. And then I played with it for a bit, and then I thought, man, this was actually pretty cool, like being able to pick up weapons. I feel like a lot of this could maybe be true here. So I'll have the patch notes on my side here, and I also got, I think I got the chat here. I'm going to try and be a bit more active in chat than I normally am, and I'm just going to sort all my windows accordingly so that I don't fuck everything up. All right, I think this should be good. Perfect. So in case you're not watching, or in case if you're watching, I'm going to post the spreadsheet in the link. That's the one I sent to Valve, and Valve asked for when I was with them and talked to them. So let's just go through these, and I'm not going to read fucking all of this because you can read that yourself. I'm just going to say if I agree or not. So if we go into the spreadsheet here, you can see there's a bunch of dudes here. If you want to be able to comment, you have to request access, so just send me an email at HiGPSTF2@gmail.com. I think it says, yeah, it says here. We had some people just going and solving people's comments and removing the ones they didn't agree with, so I had to turn that off. But I can still see your comments and stuff like that. So let's start from the top. Panic attack. Was it our change? No, it wasn't what we suggested, but I agree with it, so fine, let's go. All right, so the next one that got a change was, of course, the ambassador. And I'm only going to talk about the things I disagree with or don't like, rather than the things I like. I'm like, cool, great, just fucking read the page, and it says it all there. All right, so basically, what the ambassador does, it basically turns into a really strange, what do you call it? Enforcer, right? Because the enforcer is just slower damage closer, and you have the spray and everything, and then they kind of just make that for the ambassador, because basically what they did is that they were to give it a spray, and then you have a headshotting item that you can't reliably headshot with, if I understand that correctly. So I don't think that's going to fly because it's a precision weapon and you're taking away the precision. The precision is not the problem. The problem is that it does 102 damage regardless of distance. So I would just add damage fall off, so you can't like two-shot a sniper from a sniper distance. You have to be relatively close to kill him, because the ambassador is basically a tool to deal with Razorback snipers. So that's why I don't agree with this one. Basically, like Amadeus saying, and a lot of people that plays competitive as well, is like it needs to lose its long range ability, and just adding a spray to a weapon that is precision makes very little sense to me. So that's why I don't agree with that. So for the next one, we have the Dead Ringer. And basically, what the only thing they did is that you can't refill ammo kits and dispensers to refill the cloak meter, so you can't spam it as much. But you'd still get that fucking super strong speed boost, which the spy doesn't even need, and super armor and all that stuff. So it's still, because here I also have something called balance concepts, right? Here's the concepts of everything. I'm not sure if you can tell that, right? You might have to lean in close to your monitor, because I can't actually, well, I can zoom. Let's see, let me see if I can, yeah, fuck it. So basically, we have like these different things called mobility, power, and utility. So basically, I have mobility is everything movement, power is everything damage and taking damage, and utility is everything that isn't mobility or power, right? So you have one here that's called deception, and that's like the spy's thing, right? The spy is all about being deceptive and stuff like that. And if you go and look at the scout, you can say that he what I would call a criteria for scout is the high speed. like speed is scout's thing, and then they keep putting speed into spy, but spy is deception, so spy becomes less deception and more sniper and speed, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, spy should be deceptive and be able to trick you and have tools in its kits to fool you, rather than just giving him small parts of other classes like the sniper, ambassador, and the recent speed buff that makes him run as fast as a medic, which means you're a pyro, you can't catch up to him unless you're using the power jack and you're doing like the jump switcheroo. So I hope they put that back so the spy isn't as fast as a medic, because as a medic you shouldn't worry. There's enough stuff that can kill you. You shouldn't have to worry about a spy running just as fast as you. If you run in a straight line, you shouldn't have to worry about a spy stabbing you if he's following you, right? Cool, great. So yeah, that's you can look at this in the spreadsheet as well. It's still a work in progress. So Deadringer is mostly tied to the fact that spy already is fast from before and doesn't need an additional speed boost while he has a speed boost. Like, yo, dog, I heard the spy is all about deception. Let's give him speed. All right, so I rambled enough about that. So all of these I agree with. The Sandman, the Bonk, and everything, that's fine. Don't need to go into a whole lot of detail. It's on the page. Like I said, a million minus one times. I think I said it once before. But then we have the Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. I agree with that. But then we have the Criticola. Let's see. For the most part, most is good except a few things. You can see here the things I don't agree with is 7 things. So as for the Darwin Danger Shield, the way that I understood the balance and perception of this is that the sniper, you have your secondary kind of changes the most how you play the game as a sniper. If you quick the Razorback, you lose, or if you remove SMG, you lose death matching potential, like damage output, because the SMG does a lot of damage if you use it correctly. And you switch that to Razorback, well, now you don't have to worry about spies stabbing you, but you don't have that high DM anymore. And the Darwin Danger Shield is basically, I'm now weak, I have lower DM, but I'm stronger against snipers, my counter, because we have the counter against spy, Razorback, and that's fine. And then, of course, you need to have a specific counter to the other classes that counter you, the Darwin Danger Shield, because that follows logically. Like, if you have, oh yeah, this counter to this class is fine, but the counter to himself, which is the same class, is not okay, then we shouldn't have the Razorback either, right? You can't have the Razorback and not the Danger Shield and the other way around. So basically what they did is that the original Darwin Danger Shield was weak against fire, or something like that. Like, combined with the Bushwhacker, the set, right? You're weak against fire. And now you're strong against fire. But pyros have to get close to you in order to do the thing. Yeah, you can shoot a flare, but the flare does minuscule damage, and now with the extra health and the fire resistance, I don't think this is gonna fly. It makes very little sense, and I don't understand what they were doing. Like, let's go down and look at the Darwin Danger Shield. Yes, there we go. It's to counter ranged burn attacks like flares and the Cowmangler mini crit rocket. Those two weapons. And as well as detonator and scorch shot. That's what it's for. Things that are never a problem for a sniper. So we're gonna... It's kind of like adding a bunker to your bunker. You don't need bunker in a bunker. You just need a stronger bunker. That's all you do. So I don't agree with that. So I think basically what my idea of the Darwin Danger Shield is basically if you get headshot or mini crit or whatever, your health goes down to 1 and you're fucked, right? So that makes you strong against snipers long range, but weak against other stuff. Something like that. Something along those lines. Basically, a headshot never kills you, brings you down to 1, and then whatever, you can have like a hell overheal debuff, whatever. But then basically, if the other guy goes SMG sniper, he counters you from afar because he headshots you, switch to SMG, and you're dead. But if the other guy's running the Razorback, he's kind of fucked too because you have the Danger Shield. But then you're also fucked because they kind of have a spy. You see? That's what we call balance, like a triangle. You know, you pick your weakness and you pick your strengths. I hope I'm making sense. I'm a bit tired from working out to this. I'm not 100% here. And for the record, I think SMG spray is 100% accurate on the first shot, so you always hit people from far away. People with the crit mechanics should know that. Anyway, let's move on. Which was the next one? Yeah, the Razorback. Woo, okay. The Razorback. Basically what it did is like, yeah, the shield can now regenerate, fine, but you can't get overheal. Which means the Razorback, who made you immune to one attack out of the 24 things that can hurt you in this game, now those 23 other things are going to be much better at killing you. So you eliminate one possibility of getting killed, and having a medic or not having a medic has absolutely no effect on you in the battle for that much. So makes a little sense. Like, what I would like the Razorback to be is basically just an inconvenient step for a spy to force Sniper out of his position. Because I do think that with the right tweak, the Ambassador would be able to counter the Razorback. That's the idea, right? Even with the Sniper with the overheal. So that's a problem. Like in competitive, here's the main problem. The Sniper gets overhealed with the Razorback, so he can't get stabbed and he can't get headshot. And if he gets headshotted, the medic's on his ass always, so he will be healed back up and people will see the spy and the spy will fucking die, right? So what I would like to do is for the spy to fuck with the Razorback without being stabbed properly. So what I would like to see is the ability to put a zapper on the Razorback and then stab once, not get the stun, and then be able to stab again. Alternatively, you can put the zapper on, wait for the zapper to complete and the Razorback crumble, and then go and stab. So you alert the Sniper of your presence, and then you can either go for an attack, like you go for a double stab. It would be the same speed as a normal swing speed as a Sniper, but you will hear the sap sound. It will be a cooldown before you can switch. So I think that would be a better way of just being like, oh yeah, I can still fuck with Snipers, but it's just an additional step. I can put the Sapper disguise and just leave him and wait for him to just leave his position, or wait for the Razorback to get destroyed and then stab him. I think that would be a better choice to do so, right? Having no overheal seems very harsh. Although the regen thing is probably nice, so you don't have to run back to spawn and effectively die, right? Pretty much. Yes. So let's talk about the other ones. That is, of course, gloves are running urgently. So basically, they've gone back to what they were before, except they've increased the damage you take, and you regenerate when you take them back. So here's the problem with speed, right? Or faster than normal speed. There's a couple of classes that can do this. Basically, Soldier and Demo are the best examples of this. They hurt themselves. You sacrifice health for speed. That is the core concept of added mobility. You sacrifice health and gain a speed boost. So this is interesting for Demo and Soldier because it's important to understand this when I'm going to talk about the Heavy and why the gloves are running urgently and the eviction notice aren't well designed compared to that. Because the rocket jumping and sticky jumping is hard. It's something you have to learn. It's not just something you can like if you play any other game and there's like a sprint button, you're like, I push this button and now I sprint. I have added mobility at the push of a button. So here, you kind of have the same issue with the Heavy, except the Heavy is a really strong class. He does a ton of damage, and with the added mobility, he can really be good, and why you should mostly play Heavy and Bubs with this, because you will be faster and stronger than those who don't, right? So they also removed Marked for Death and all that stuff, which is kind of okay right now. But what I was going to say earlier is about the Big Earner. Big Earner was basically, I forget who it was, but someone posted on the spreadsheet a while ago before it was implemented that being able to stab and then run faster is a good way to do it. It's an active action similar to rocket jumping and sticky jumping, where you have an active action and that active action gains you speed. In this case, the spy always has the lowered health element, like he always has less health. Always, you have 100 instead of 25. And it only activates when you kill people. So the active skill is in you sacrifice the health, and the action you have to do is kill somebody, and then you get the speed for a while. And it's really good for spy because it works with deception. You're weak, and you can just go in, get out, stuff like that. And it's like, well, scouts like the speed thing, scouts thing. Yeah, but basically sacrificing health for speed is demo and soldier's way of doing it, and we can apply that to other classes as well. But the heavy is usually pocketed by a medic always, and he also has a sandwich so he can heal himself. And I also think like the Lucas bar combined with this, like you eat the thing and then you fucking run, and you don't care about like losing health or anything like that. So what I would like to see is basically, in order for this to be balancedly sound, like a logically sound, the rules we have so far is active action, loss of health, right, to gain the speed boost. So here, it's not you just basically push the sprint button and then you run fast. Or you can run a bit slower with the eviction notice. I would like it to be some kind of active action that you have to do in order to get the speed. It shouldn't be enough to just equip it and run with it. So I would just like to see max health reduced. Max health is drained while item is active, yeah, and then regenerated while holstered. So the way I understand this, I see people going in chat about the rant. The way I understand is that you lose health when you run, and then you get it back when you're done running. So I would just like to see either constantly losing health at a drastic rate, so it's not viable to just run all the time. Stuff like that. The escape line is an entirely different story. It's not on the list, but it's definitely too good the way it is right now. So yeah, that's the main problem. I just want an active action and the loss of health to be incorporated in some way. So yeah. So I think like either just a static max HP would be better. I might just be not understanding this correctly because it's not in the game yet. I haven't tried it. So just reducing, yeah, people saying is reducing the max HP. Like I said, I'm tired. Okay, I'll read it again. I'm a fucking idiot because I didn't prepare too much. All right. All right. Speed, lack of, is used balance, heavy movement, or changes. Added max health is drained while item is active, minus 10 or sec, and regenerated while holstered. Holstered means you put away, so that means your max health regenerates. Health will only regenerate amount that drained while active, minus any damage taken each time the gloves are deployed. The drain rate is accelerated for a brief moment of time. That seems a bit complicated for me to understand, reading. So the max health is going down when you run, and then it comes back. No, I don't like it. I think it should be done better. It should be an active action, not just holding it shouldn't be enough, because you can negate this properly. The way you negated the way the previous one, or the current gloves are running urgently with the damage taken, is that you just stop running earlier, and then when you get the mid, you can time it so that as soon as you cross the corner, you don't take that damage. Yeah. Cool. It's still better than its current state. Yes, I agree with that, but it's still not balancedly sound, similar to the big earner or rocket jumping and sticky jumping, which is what you want. So it might work, but it might not be perfect. But I still don't agree with it because there's no active action other than just holding it. But I'm not sure what that action should be. I think just lower max health overall should be fine. Because, yeah. Anyway, that's enough about the GRU and me not understanding this properly because I'm tired. But eviction notice, same thing. However, the Fists of Steel, basically you heal less and you get less overheal and you get less healing, so that basically means you can't bullet sponge as well as you could, which isn't the problem with the Fist of Steel, in my opinion, because the problem of the Fist of Steel is that the downside of slower holstering speed can be negated by pushing buttons, right? So in case you haven't watched this, I did an episode a while back, which is actually ridiculously strong, and not a lot of people do this. But if you go shotgun Fist of Steel heavy, and you create like a macro, or you're just very quick to always like switch from Fist of Steel to like minigun shotgun, and then switch back to Fist of Steel, because the damage debuff starts as soon as you're holding the item, which means you take reduced damage, meaning against soldiers and demo man, you are just like, your sustained damage, especially with the family business, is just so high, and it throws them off any kind of game they have. So even with the reduced overheal and reduced healing penalty, if you just switch this, you can totally negate that, because the only time you want the reduced damage is as you're getting hits. You're like, oh, I got hit, and now I negate it again. So the problem with the Fists of Steel as they are now, the current problem will still be there. So it didn't actually fix anything. So yeah, that's the things I didn't agree with. However, like many people said, I might misunderstand. Like the groove with the lowering of the max health is interesting, but like you need active action for it to be viable somehow. Maybe you just punching. Every time you punch, you run a bit faster, and then you slow down. Something like that. Something active while holding the weapon. Yes. So let's talk about the stuff I agree with. Panic attack. Yes. It's better. Faster swip, more pellets, more pellets, less damage. Fuck it, let's go. It's like a force of nature of sorts. Eternal reward. Cool, sounds great. Like having a disguised cloak meter thing function, whatever it does. This is good. This is good. Sandman, yeah, no longer stunned and you can't use your weapons. That's fine. Now you can shoot weapons. You're just slowed, and it's very hard, so it's a bit of slow. It's a bit of pain in the ass, but I think you'll manage because you can still shoot. Atomic Punch was fine to me. I mean, also if you look in the spreadsheet, you can tell. Here I've also like said what my previous ranking was of them. So you can see like the Dead Ringer was OP. Pretty much anything that was OP except the Vitasaw, I agreed. I didn't agree with. Like Vitasaw was the only one I agreed to change. So yeah, quick summary. Eternal reward, yeah, that's great. Bonk, yep, makes you able to have a better downside. So you can't just like taking a shit ton of damage has some effects afterwards. So you have to be careful where you stop. And Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol is actually seems to be very viable right now because it actually does what it's supposed to do, like heal you in small bursts. Coca-Cola is good as well, having less damage or more damage taken or less move speed should be fine. I would like to see them switch up or split it like they did with the Equalizer and the Escape Plan, and just have more drinks that maybe make you shoot faster and reload faster and run faster and yeah, stuff like that. So that's cool. Atomizer, I think I did an episode on that where I thought I redeemed it not OP. However, but that's my bias. I never have trouble shooting Atomizer scouts ever because I mostly play hit scan, right? But if you play soldier or demo man, I can see it's a fucking pain in the ass. On a pub level, doesn't matter too much, but in competitive, fucking breaks the game. So sure, as for pub, it won't matter that much, so that's fine. Flying Guillotine, it's a bit more reliable and not as random. Base Jumper, holy fuck, that weapon was good, and even with like this nerf that it's getting, it's still fucking amazingly good. So sure, I don't mind. I mean, it's one of my most used weapons. Man-Treads needed a definitive buff, so they're more rocket jumping friendly now, and I also added what I wanted. Let's look at the Man-Treads over here. What does it say? Make 75% push force from all sources while on the ground. What does it say? Plus 75 push force reduction now includes air blast. So it is on all forces. Yes, yes. Have a little toot for that. So let's go down. Vitasaw. They basically inverted it, so now it makes you keep the Uber while you get the Uber you're going to keep when you die when you're alive. So it's like a reversed Uber saw. With the Uber saw, you get to keep it when you're alive, but with the Vitasaw, you keep it when you die. So that means if you're a bit more passive medic and you know you're going to die instead of trying to retreat, you'll be like, fuck it, I'm just going to go and melee people and they better kill me as fast as possible, and then I will do that. So you will get some cool, interesting exchanges where your plan is to die, but the item doesn't suck. the way it is too overpowered. Also, Crusader's crossbow, minor changes, doesn't matter too much, that's fine. Miniguns, yeah, that was about change. About time they fixed that mini damage, whatever debuff they added ages ago. And also the Rescue Ranger having repair on sentries, not consuming metal, is actually against the class integrity. So hopefully they can do that and then have the short circuit not use metal to remove projectiles, but have his own ammo instead. Yes. So overall, it looks very interesting. I'm also looking forward to seeing how things that I don't agree with work out, because like I said, it could be that I do a 180. Maybe if I try the gloves are running urgently and I use that and my health goes down, I'd be like, oh, this is fucking great. It works perfect. I would never have suspected this to work as well as it did. So I'm excited for most of these. There's a couple of ones that I'm not that excited about, mainly the Fist of Steel, I guess is the least. The Fist of Steel and the Ambassador are the ones I am the least interested in, but the rest seems very fine. So only 2 out of... Do you guys like spreadsheets? Because I have more of them here, yes. So I approve of about 67%, 66%. 14 out of 21, so that's not bad. Yeah. Cool. So that was that. I mean, it's not even in the game yet. So we'll see. It's bound to change. So if I were to say the hardest ones to balance right now is probably Razorback Darwin Danger Shield, how he solved that puzzle of balancing that properly, as well as the Ambassador Deadwing and overall Spy speed. How the fuck are they going to solve speed at a constant rate? And then I think that was it. Cool, great. So that was that. Thank you for watching. Wow, I went for a lot longer than I thought. I'm also very tired because I'm busy dancing and stuff. So, but schedule is still going strong. All right, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you when I see you.